I now call to order the special session meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor LaHousas,
Here.
Vice Mayor Carr,
Here.
Commissioner Terrapini.
Here.
Commissioner Donovan,
Here.
Commissioner Vaticiotis.
Here.
Thank you. Tonight's agenda does not have doesn't have public comments. All the items will be discussed tonight, but if anybody has any comments, please come to the floor, to the podium, state your name and your address, and tell us if you have anything that you want to share with us. Are there any public comments? Here none? Okay. I'd like to announce that the purpose of tonight's meeting is to get public input regarding the fiscal year 2020, 2021, and 22. After many meetings and discussions that the Budget Advisory Committee had with the staff, analyzing each line item of the budget, and 3 BOC workshops tonight, we're presenting the fiscal year 2022 budget of $69 million, an increase of $5.8 million from last year, with the general fund this year is $28 million, and still maintaining the same millage of 5.37. The first item on the agenda is the Resolution 2021-45, tentative adopting the millage rate for tax year 2021. Mr. Harry, if you please review the procedures required by state law.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Ron Herring, Finance Director. Florida Statute 200.065 sets the procedures for the adoption of the millage rate and budget. The tentative millage rate must be approved before the tentative budget. The tentative millage rate for tax year 2021 is 5.37, the same as the previous year. The tentative millage rate of 5.37 is 4.56% above the rollback rate of 5.1359. The rollback rate is a rate which would provide the same dollar amount of revenues as the previous year. The increase over the rollback rate is being used to fund personnel and operating costs. And with that, I have any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, would you please read the resolution's entirety?
Resolution 2021-45, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, tentatively adopting the millage rate for tax year 2021. Whereas a public hearing was held on September the 7th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a tentative millage rate, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that 1. The ad valorem millage rate for tax year 2021 of the City of Tarpon Springs is hereby tentatively established at 5.3700, a 4.56% increase over the rollback rate of 5.1359. 2. The city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Licorice, do you have any comments on the millage? If not, we'll go to public comments.
No, sir.
We're now going to the public comments on this item. If you have any comments, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your address for the record, please. No comments? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion on this item.
So moved. Second.
Are there any commission comments?
I just have one. What was the resolution number that you read?
Resolution is 2021-45.
Is that what you read? Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Well, the only thing I would like to say, Mr. Licorice, is to express my thanks and appreciation to the staff and to the Budget Advisory Committee. The chairman is here with us, Mr. McCloy, and thank you for your service. Please tell all the board members that we appreciate that very, very much.
45 is the first one.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vaticiotis,
Mr. Licorice?
Roll call, yes.
Said
Roll
yes.
call, is that?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Donovan,
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Carr,
Yes.
Mayor LaHousas.
Yes. The second item on the agenda is the Resolution 2021-46, tentatively adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Mr. Harry, please read the procedure required by state law.
Yes, the tentative budget for fiscal year 2022 for the whole city is $69,173,632, an increase of $5,895,133, or 9.32% over the adopted budget for fiscal year 2021. The majority of the increase is related to some increase in capital outlay.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please read the resolution.
Resolution 2021-46, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, tentatively adopting the budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 7th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a tentative budget, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that 1. The City of Tarpon Springs annual budget for fiscal year 2021-2022 is hereby tentatively adopted. 2. The city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Licorice, do you have any comments?
No, sir.
Are there any public comments on this item?
Thank you.
Does anyone has any comments on the budget? Hear none. The chair will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Are there any commission comments on this item?
I have.
Go ahead.
Again, I wanted to reiterate, and I've communicated this with the city manager and also the commission in the past, that, Mayor, you've brought it up several times as well, even before I was commissioner, about doing a better job of establishing priorities before we get into the budget season. For example, a map that, for example, over the past 5 years showing what streets have been paved and sidewalks have been repaired throughout the city, so we can make sure that there's a balance of what parts of the city get what work. And I'm hoping we can do that next year, early. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I like to say that I'm glad that we were able to do some good things this year. We approved to reduce the water and sewer. We'll reduce it 2.2% for the 2022 and no increase for 2023 and 24. But also, I'm very glad that we will receive financial help from the state. We received a grant of $1.7 million for the sponge ducts flood issue that we have down on Dodecanese Boulevard. We'll receive state grant $724,000 for the Anclo River turning basin. And of course, we'll be designated to receive $12.8 million from the American Rescue Plan, the coronavirus. So that's a lot of good help to Tarpon Springs. Any other commission comments? Commissioner Donovan?
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, I just wanted to echo your thoughts, Mayor. I think there's a lot of great things in this budget. Our budget controls everything we do. I just want to thank everybody involved with it, from the board to staff to the citizens who give us their input, and to our budget advisory committee. I think this is a great budget with a lot of great things in it, so I appreciate everybody's effort on this.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Carr.
Yeah, I do want to be another person to reiterate the same thing. Mr. McCloy, thank you for everything that you and your board has done as a budget advisory. As a volunteer board, we really look to you all and appreciate all the recommendations that you've done this year. Mr. Herring, thank you for your help with meeting with me and discussing things over and over again. And Mr. Smith, thank you for making it challenging and finding creative ways to spend money, as always. So I think next year we still need to find a hybrid, though, for Chief Young. That's one thing he's been looking forward to for many years. So maybe we could look into that at some point. But overall, it's kidding aside, Paul Smith has done a great job, and Bob Robertson and our head of HR and other department heads and city manager, thank you for pulling this budget together this year during a tough year of COVID. Obviously, we've had a good year of with the tax revenues going up because of the property values, but we do have a lot of expenditures to move forward from the capital side, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of these projects done timely and finishing up fiscal year 21 as well. So thank you.
Commissioner Terrapini.
Thanks, Mayor. I also just want to say that I think we should all be proud of this budget. This was a good year for us budgeting-wise. I'd say that in this year we did more infrastructure projects than we have in years past, and I think that that definitely shows with where the majority of our funds were attributed to. So I think that we should all be proud of that, and I definitely would want to make sure that the residents have this information made available to them as far as where we spent, at least an overview in terms of where we spent a lot of the money on capital improvement projects, especially as it relates to infrastructure. And want to give thanks to all of our staff members who worked tirelessly on this. You know, it's not commonly known that budget season for staff really starts like 6 months ago, so if not a little bit longer. So I think that it's important to recognize all the staff that worked on it. Definitely recognize the Budget Advisory Committee for their contributions and their volunteerism on the board and recommendations that they made. So just thanks to everybody. I think it's a budget that we can all be proud of, and I just want to make sure that the information is available to the public so they can see where their money is being spent. Thank you.
Thank you. I have some comments that I'm going to make next week in regards to the employee salary, so I'll leave that next week, Mr. Liqueurs. With that, roll call, please.
Commissioner Vaticiotis?
Yes.
Commissioner Donovan?
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Carr?
Yes.
Mayor LaHousas?
Yes. Well, that concludes the special session, and it's adjourned at 6:41 p.m. And we're now going to the CRA meeting. I now call to order the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs on Thursday. Why it says Thursday? It's Tuesday. September 7, 2021 at 6:42 p.m. Ms. Jacobs, roll call, please.
Chair LaHousas?
Here?
Vice Chair Carr?
Here.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Here.
Commissioner Donovan?
Here.
Commissioner Vaticiotis?
Here.
Again, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to get public input regarding fiscal year 2020-2022 CRA budget. The first item on the agenda is Resolution 2021-01, tentative adopting the budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the resolution?
Resolution 2021-01, a resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, tentatively adopting the budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. Whereas a public hearing was held on September the 7th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a tentative budget, now therefore be it resolved by the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that Section 1, the Community Redevelopment Agency's annual budget for fiscal year 2021-2022 is hereby tentatively adopted. Section 2, the city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Harry, would you please review the procedures required by state law?
Yes, the tentative CRA budget for fiscal year 2022 is $644,104, an increase of $85,204 or 15.2% over the adopted budget for fiscal year 2021. The increase is due to taxable values increasing 9.44% in the CRA, which is being put towards some capital outlay.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on this item? This is for the CRA. Any comments on the CRA budget? I hear none. The chair will entertain a motion on this item.
So moved.
Second.
And we go to commission comments. Do we have any commission comments? I hear none. Ms. Jacobs, if you please, roll call.
Vaticiotis?
Mr. Vaqueros?
Yes.
Commissioner Donovan?
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carr?
Yes.
Chair LaHousas?
Yes. Well, that concludes the agenda, and it's adjourned at 6:44 p.m.
You did.
Thank you, everybody.